All right, thank you everybody. Tonight is the regular monthly meeting of the Clinton Midland Wetlands Commission. It's Tuesday, April 1st, time is 7:15. Sherry, you call roll this man.
Lawrence Edwards,
Here.
Edward Alberino,
Here.
Michael Florio, Thomas Welch,
Here.
Robert Corson,
Here.
Christopher Horvath,
Here.
Scott Harley,
Here.
Mark Burno,
Here.
Douglas Elliott.
Here. And I'll see. All right, couple house cleaning items for tonight. First, we need to review and approve the meeting from our regular monthly meeting from March 4th. I'd like to make a motion to approve. Go ahead, second. Sorry. 4 seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Who was-
Opposed or abstained?
Who was the
Aye.
second?
Aye.
Chris. And there's, is that Mike that abstained?
No, Larry.
Larry.
No, I said
Then-
aye.
He said aye. You approved.
It just came as a delay. He
Oh.
said that.
So it was unanimous.
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 So we need to review and approve the meeting minutes from our special meeting from the site walk on March 20th. I move so approved. I'll start. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
was that
Okay.
Doug moved?
Chris moved. Eddie second.
When you, I'm looking down, I can't tell my voices yet. Eddie the second.
All right, before we get to 9 Ironworks, we got one application that came in. This is going to be IWC 25-5, 111 Long Hill Road. William J. Shine is the applicant. William J. Shine and Kathleen D. Shine are the owners. For an application for regulated activity within and within the inland wetlands and watercourse. For a drain pipe to contain the stream necessary to build a crossing across the rear of the property. It's going to be assessors map 65, block 49, lot 11A and code.
So this application came in and it's very incomplete. So I've talked to the property owner and he has withdrawn.
Okay.
Until a later date, when he has some information.
All right, into item number 4. So this is going to be IWC 25-4, 9 Ironworks Road, lot number 2. Michael Harkin is the applicant and agent. Paul and Kristen Andrews are the owners. This is for application for activity within 50 feet of an inland wetlands or a watercourse for a new single-family residence and pertinent structures, including grading. This is accessory map 51, block 39, lot 63 in the zone RE.
You do, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, for the record, my name is Michael Harkin, I'm a professional engineer and principal. Harkin Engineering, located at 70 Wolf Hollow Lane in the town of Kilmer, Connecticut. Again, here tonight on behalf of my clients, the Andrews, for their property at 9 Ironworks Road, known affectionately as lot number 2. The owner is Paul and Kristen Andrews, and it's their son, William Andrews, and his fiancee Vanessa that are applying as the applicant. Obviously, this is lot 2. When I flip the page over, lot 1 is the Paul and Kristen Andrews' house. They split this parcel off to give it to their son to build a home next to them. So just a little housekeeping, the land surveyor of record is Gessick & Associates, Don Gessick, at Clinton, Connecticut. The soil scientist is Mr. Rich Starsky at Marble, and our firm of Harkin Engineering is a civil. So here's the parcel. It's a fairly large parcel, as you can see. It's about 4.93 acres. Those of you that were on the sidewalk saw that area that was hogged out. That is the inland wetlands that actually fell off pretty steeply. Again, we're proposing the house in this upper area. Lot 1 for Paul and Kristen is up here, and this is the one for. Those of you that are on the sidewalk saw that we're using the existing driveway that's already road opening that's in there. The driveway will be essentially located in this area, and then we have the house as far away from the wetlands as we can. There's the building setback line, and then we have it over as close as we can to the driveway. And the reason for that is one of the alternates is we had it over here. It's just way too much filling. A second alternate that we had, we actually soil tested in a house and back, but again, there's much more disturbance within the upland review area, so we decided on this one. Along those same lines, we have an area, we're increasing the impervious area, so we have an underground detention system. For the first 1.3 inches of runoff, you see it right there. We have the septic system in this vicinity, which we have approval from the health department, for that system. And again, the spot that we looked at that break in the wall, that is for the foundation drain outlets. That's gonna be clean water coming from the ground. It's really beautiful sand and gravel over there, so we shouldn't have any, but we just wanna put the precaution in there so they don't get any hydrostatic pressure, coming up through the bottom foundation, because it is a walkout basement. Those of us that were on the sidewalk was able to see how it dropped off. We're proposing a well to go up in front. We are 200 feet from the closest, Connecticut water, so we're allowed to put the well in. And then we have things as far as erosion control. You can see we have a construction entrance out front, topsoil stockpile areas with silt fence, and then we have a line of silt fence in the areas, and then we also have state hay bales if they're needed, at that discharge point. We meet all the bulk zoning requirements for zoning. Again, this is the detailed septic plan for the install. Again, we have health department approval for that. And then these are the notes for the septic system installer with the soil testing results. And then the last page is all the erosion controls and requirements as far as demo, dust control, no pesticides and fertilizers, and here's the drainage calcs for that underground connection system. So, pretty simple project in a nutshell. We are within 100 feet. You can see this is a 100-foot upland review line. We're in 100 feet because of the foundation drain outlet and the septic system. It's really the only place on site to put that septic system in the area. Those of you that were on site were able to see that it's pretty much a lawn area, just a little overgrown in this vicinity, but pretty much it's mowed constantly. And then they do use this point for access to get to the river. So with that being said, that ends my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody may have from both the presentation and the sidewalk.
Mike, can you just mention a really quick thing, we talked about this, but the alternatives and why you're going with the
Yep.
first one?
So again, just recently Kathy and I talked about, we have an alternate plan that was in your packet that we submitted. It had different locations. Again, we had the house over this section. Again, if we put it over here, then we have a terrible amount of filling to do. It almost doubles the amount of filling. And then filling pushes out in the upland review area. So that's neither feasible or prudent. And then again, we tested in this back area to put the house, but again, then you're gonna have a road and a whole driveway and other utilities going back there. So again, that's neither feasible or prudent. The reason that this was accepted, and we worked off of this one because it has the least amount of upland disturbance and the least amount of potential grading in the upland area.
Just leave it.
Just, before we ask questions or any other questions, I need to appoint an acting secretary since Mike's not here, so I'll just modify it for you. You won't need to do it. Housekeeping. So any questions from the commission on the application? Kathy, do you wanna just quick maybe summarize your?
Sure, so, I mean, you guys do need to determine whether or not you
Yep.
feel it's a significant activity as well. So, I did send out a staff report, I hope you all got it in your email. You know, basically repeating what Mike said, you know, there was a face split building one, it was filed with the town clerk, you took care of that. This is the plan, we talked about the alternatives plan and why this was the best location. Is there?
No, sorry.
Oh,
Okay,
The permit and wetland regulations. And I said, you know, that for the site development, the proposed 3 house outside the area, septic is within 100 feet. The activity closest to the wetlands is the foundation drain riprap pad, which are 10 feet from the wetlands. And you can certainly get more information from that if you like, but we talked about it, we said the foundation drain water will be clean. And again, we discussed why the other two locations are not feasible. So, I you know, again, take my opinion with a grain of salt, but as your staff, but, you know, you have to determine whether it's significant activity. I personally did not believe that it is. And if you choose, I did make a motion for approval. Mike, can you just mention that again, since I mentioned my report about how the water will be clean?
Yeah, like I said in my presentation, it's groundwater. So, it's nothing like it's collecting any storm drainage or anything off the road. It's physically just when you put a foundation and you put a drain around it, because you don't want that water coming in your basement. You know,
That's the point that's closest to the wetlands.
we're not, it's not like we wanna put a hole in there and put a sub pump in there as a precaution. Nobody ever wants to put a hole in their basement. But it's beautiful sand and gravel, it should be cleaned up the entire time. And, you know, if it's dirty, it's because there's a leak from somebody else's oil tank or something that's causing it. It's not from.
Is that a dry well? Is that wetlands? Or the drain?
It's galleys.
No, closer to me.
Right.
What drain? Right here. Is that a dry well? or
No, we
is it
just
gravity
we put a little river up splash pad just in case it doesn't scour when it's done.
fed? Is it gravity fed, groundwater?
Yeah, it's gravity fed. That's why we had to chase it all the way out to here.
Oh.
Because the,
The sidewalk really,
No.
you can see it very easily.
yeah,
It's all there.
the lower level's at 70, so that drain is probably at 68. And we're at 67 here, so it's a foot of difference over, 120 feet. So it's right there.
And that's all passed up. You pointed at first. The cigar shaped one. What is that up here?
Those are galleys. Every time you have an increase in pervious area, you can't spill more water on the property or at the neighbor's property. So you have to put in a drainage system
Over surface water.
for surface water, the increase in driveway and the increase in the house. That's fed through the roof leaders.
Any other questions from the commission?
I appreciated Kathy's notes very much. Very clear, very organized. Appreciated the summary statements about the alternatives. I don't think it meets the criteria.
So that's what we'll have to kind of determine now. So does anyone believe that this meets our definition for a significant activity, which would warrant a public hearing? Or is it in the best interest of the public? Anyone think that it does? Okay, so by consensus, find that it's not a significant activity? So,
Okay,
no other questions, I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion. I move to approve application IWC 25-4. 9 Ironwork Road. Original proposed location as shown on the plans entitled Andrews Residence, prepared by William Andrews and Vanessa Morales, dated 12/12/24. For activity within 50 feet of the animal wetlands and water course with the following conditions. Findings of fact. The application meets the requirements of section 7.2 and 7.3 of the Clinton Inland Wetlands Regulations. The proposed site improvements do not meet the criteria for significant activity as defined in section 2 of the Clinton Inland Wetlands Regulations. Conditions: no later than 2 weeks prior to commencement of any work, the committee shall submit to the Clinton Inland Wetlands Commission the names and addresses of any contractor
Yeah, right.
employed to permitted work and anticipated schedule for completion. The committee shall give a copy of the permit to the contractor who will be carrying out the authorized activities. Committee shall contact the wetlands enforcement officer to inspect the installation of soil and erosion controls prior to construction. Committee shall not deviate from the reference site plans without the prior authorization of the Clinton Inland Wetlands Commission or the wetlands enforcement officer. Not before 90 days after completion of the authorized work, the committee shall submit an as-built.
Thanks.
A second.
So,
Before you want to
second, yeah, what could I,
It's,
the bond amount that we'll need to set. I recommend that it be, per our bonding amount that we've developed, and we should probably update this, that it be considered a medium disturbance, which would be $2,000 bond.
So as part of the approval process, we're gonna put a $2,000 bond.
Yeah. It's already gone, cash on, how do you want it?
Cash or,
Cash, pennies.
cash or check.
Cash.
Any other conditions that we think we need to
No, it says about the soil erosion controls, we're all good with that. No, just follow all the other.
add? So do I have a second?
I'll second it.
First it,
Chris got it. Any discussion on this application?
No, I like to say copy, she is a shell.
All those voting in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed or abstained? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
thank you so much. You guys have a great night. See you soon.
you know,
I'm done.
yeah.
All right, what you already did for the BBO applications.
We don't have any
Or
more, sure.
enforcement?
Enforcement. So right now, I currently have 3 properties. 2 have clear cutting, and the other one, I don't want to say much about because I'm not sure whether or not it's gonna have to come before you. It's somebody that we've had maybe some violations.
I know that.
So I am in the process of data gathering. We're getting wetlands delineations right now, some surveys, and they'll be bringing those to me. And then if they turn out to be violations, they'll be coming before you. So 3 potential.
I did an agenda number 5, correspondence. Correspondence as well.
No correspondence new tonight, but I just want to remind people that I sent out a memo from Abby regarding training opportunities. So if you want to do those, yeah,
Last time I explained to them that they didn't add some of that stuff.
yeah, you mentioned that she just became aware of it this week, so.
Okay, see you here.
So that's correspondence.
That's all for correspondence.
Okay, number 6, old business. I don't think we have any old business to talk about.
No.
New business, any additions to our agenda for next month? Anything special?
Do we even have any applications, Sharon? I don't think we do.
At this point, we don't have any applications for next week.
So, yeah, there's no applications that come in, we just cancel.
Yeah, we only had the
Okay.
one, but it was very incomplete, so that person was there. So that was the only one pending.
Good. Item agenda number 8, chairs comments. Only comments I want to have tonight are just welcome our new member. Appreciate it, and welcome everyone on the commission.
No point on the road.
We will.
I didn't say anything.
So, in a role as an alternate, you have every right, when an application comes in, if you're not voting that night, you still participate, you ask questions, you can participate in the discussion. You just can't vote on them.
But you will let me know, like.
Yes, so what I like to do with our alternates is, basically alternate, your opportunity to sit in on our discussions when one of our members is on. So if we're a member down on one night, I have Doug for that one. If we're a member down the following month, I would then have you guys. And then just keep it fair to everyone.
The also.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair. You're saying,
That's for
you're saying he's trying to.
No, they do. You absolutely can.
So he doesn't get, he doesn't get back.
Okay. You mind if I, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So yeah, so you can sit in on the discussion just like you did tonight, ask questions. When before we're gonna vote, we always have a time where we're in discussion. After a motion's been made, you can participate in the discussion, you just can't vote if you're not seated that night. And then, we'll send you, locations of our inland wetland regulations.
Okay.
Don't need to read it all, but there's some good ones in there to read. I'll give you a couple
I'm
sections.
told it was only 66 pages.
That's what I told them. So it's not that, I'm here to zone.
There's zoning regs are like that.
You want the zoning?
So, but I guess so our, more than happy with you, we can go over anything you want.
Yeah, I met with him, it was very.
Yeah. So whenever you'd like to do that, just let us know.
Okay.
Thursdays after 4 seems to be a time that most people can come in.
Well, I can.
And, yeah, we can,
Yeah, I work at
Time.
oh,
4 o'clock. Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just,
Thursday.
let me know when we'll schedule it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to thank you for the training, last Saturday.
oh,
I stayed through the entire thing, obviously because I'm on zoning board and well, it was incredible. I learned an unbelievable amount, which is great. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's every other year. So, and they decided to do it virtually this, well, with COVID, but they said that previously, I think they could accommodate 250 people. Wesleyan, which is where they used to have it, and when the online, they could accommodate over 700.
And there was a
So-
lot of people.
And people, the attorneys don't have to sit through and do it. It's got to get done. And then for the commission members, if, for example, you're only on Wetlands, you don't have to stay for the whole day. You can just go to the workshops that are applicable to the things that you do. So it really works out nicely. I think it's 3 times more people will benefit from the training.
A lot of people stayed.
Yeah.
A lot of people stayed for the whole thing.
We've got attorneys.
Very.
Yeah.
I think that's the best training.
And I learned when you actually abstain, you're actually voting for the majority.
Just tonight, yeah, Marjorie.
So, Mr. Chair, Mike said he tried everything, everything. Should I just tell him you got credit, you got access?
Well, he is absent.
He is.
For the meeting.
We can't get out.
It was not his fault. Well,
I mean,
I'm sure. Yeah, he was here for the training. It was a technical.
The training was the major one.
Yeah.
We only had one
Technical thing.
application. He's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
And he doesn't need to like listen to this meeting to go to the next.
No,
one.
there's
no
nothing.
continued
There's nothing to
application.
draw up for.
Next month.
Next month,
Oh,
yeah. So this was a one and done, yeah,
Not even a sidewalk.
No.
right,
Well,
right.
he should have said that's why, you know, it's not there.
So, all right, well, with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Maybe there's.
A second.
Eddie,
PG.
Robert, all right, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right,
Okay.
thank you, everybody.
All right,
Eddie and Rob.
Eddie.
thank you guys for coming.
Have a good
It-